congrats again on getting into UC Berkeley Haas. That's no easy feat. It's been so great to have you as a fellow OJS and a fellow friend. And now your story is inspirational for students like myself and underclassmen who will soon apply to college. Now, I'd like to give a huge special shout out to the folks that make this program work day in and day out, our OJS team. First off, volunteers, your dedicated time out of your own goodwill to support students like myself and Carlos. Second, our interns, you've helped us both thrive, both academically and mentally. Third, staff, your work year round to make sure all of these services are provided seamlessly. And you do it with such loving and welcoming care and enthusiasm. Please take a moment to stand up and wave to let everyone know who makes OJS such a unique and wonderful place. Now today is all about honoring both the graduating high school and college students who proved that OJS helped turn college dreams into reality. It is my great pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker. She is someone whose life works beautifully reflects one of the core pillars of OJS, a steadfast commitment to higher education. And like OJS, she has a special tie to higher education in Long Beach. She has seen several of her students begin and proudly complete their college journey, and has probably actually signed several degrees of the very folks in this room. She has held many titles in her career, such as Dean, Researcher, and Published Author. Please help me in welcoming the President of California State University, Long Beach, Dr. Jane Connolly.
Very happy to be here, but my left knee is not. And thank you, Carlos and Alina. Wow, you are fabulous MCs. After Berkeley and Emory, you have other careers available to you. So first of all, again, thank you. I'm so flattered to be asked to be here. And I want to congratulate the families of the scholars who are here. I know you've been part of this mission, supporting your students to do this extra stuff, and trusting that it would be an important support for their future. And also the scholars. Wait, what about you? Not every high school kid wants to do something extra about academics. I certainly know that. And I just want to say that at this table are several of the vice presidents from Cal State Long Beach, our senior vice president and provost, Karen Sissom-Gunn, our information technology vice president, Min Yao, our chief financial officer, you do want to get to know him, Scott Appel, and the director of the Long Beach College Promise, which, as you know, is a collaboration among Long Beach Unified, LBCC, Cal State Long Beach, Elijah Sims, Dr. Elijah Sims. And I'm pointing that out just to let you know how important we all think it is for students from Long Beach to have the opportunity to go to the college of their choice. So anybody in this group like sports? Sports? Anybody like tennis or baseball or basketball? Okay, covered a few. I didn't mention volleyball, but we are the national champions. So those of you who like tennis may recognize the name Roger Federer. Does that ring a bell to anybody? Yeah. He has been quite the champion over the last 10 or 15 years, winning all the major titles there are. He gave a speech recently, and it was a commencement speech. And it got my attention because he reported that his successful shot percentage was about 54%. Now I thought it would be more like 90%. He's been the world #1 and for weeks and weeks because he's such a winner. And so that got me thinking about other sports figures. Now this is an oldie, nobody in the room will remember this, but I looked this up. Babe Ruth's batting average was 342. So that meant only about a third of the time when he went up to the bat did he actually connect and get a hit. 342. That surprised me because I think he had records that lasted for decades, right? And a more well-known and more contemporary figure, of course, is LeBron James. Now, you may or may not know that his free throw average for this past season was 51.9%. So he made his shot just a bit over 50% of the time. And, he's an icon, right? So this got me thinking more about Roger Federer's speech. He said in his speech that he was a champion because he never spent a moment thinking about his misses. He just got ready for the next shot. And he did his best. Of course, he trained and he practiced hard, making himself ready to be a winner, and that's important to remember. But he credited his positive mindset for his accomplishments. That's what he said about himself. Yeah, I trained constantly, I did all these things, but what separated me from the others who were equally maybe physically talented was the mindset he has. So I know there are some athletes as well as some scholars in the room, and you've probably heard about the importance of a positive mindset. And perhaps some of you have even developed working on it. Maybe the Operation Jumpstart has helped you do that. Anyone? Have you heard about positive mindset before? Yeah, good. Yeah, this is not new information. It's a review, just so you. Yeah. So just in case you need to know, how do you get a positive mindset? Because if it helps you in athletics, it will also help you in academics, and we actually know it does. So first, if you want to be a champion like Roger Federer, be a grateful person. Before going to sleep every night or first thing and waking up every morning, think of maybe 3 things you are grateful for. Remember, number 1, and I do this at my age, be grateful you woke up. Okay. Not so much scholars, you're not worried about that now. You might be grateful for your parents. I know from hearing from Alina and Carlos, you're grateful for Operation Jumpstart. And you're probably grateful for some of your friends, and maybe at least one of your brothers or sisters. I hope you're grateful for all of them, but that doesn't always work out that way. You could be grateful that you're good at some academic subjects, or be grateful for the warm sunny days we have here in Long Beach. Could be anything. But if you really want to get a good effect of this, spend a few moments writing 3 things down every day for a week. And then at the end of the week, reread the list. Let all the good that surrounds you sink in, even though we know, as Carlos mentioned one important thing, we know there's some bad surrounding us too. Next, so first be grateful. Next, when you find yourself worrying or holding a grudge or feeling angry, take a moment and take 3 deep breaths. Now this sounds maybe cheesy, but this really works. We got research on this. And a deep breath means you go in, you hold it, then you slowly go out. And all you listen to is the breathing. Then you say to yourself, negative thoughts hurt nobody but me, and I don't want to be hurt. Then turn your mind to happy memories or something you're looking forward to. Now, this takes practice. This is not easy to do. Our brains are organized to stay thinking about negative things. So this is not some simple thing. You really have to practice it, like you have to practice mathematics and science and other stuff you do. But this is what champions do. They keep this kind of mindset. So finally, when you make a mistake, don't dwell on it. Learn from it and move on. Try not to spend 1 minute of your valuable lifetime fretting, or as we say in psychology, because we like big words, ruminating. Because rumination will make you less brave. And we all need to be brave to succeed. In other words, if you spend all the time thinking about your mistakes, you'll be afraid to move forward because you will be convincing yourself you can't do it. So simple steps: gratitude, focus on the good and breathe, and don't dwell on mistakes. And related to this is something else you've probably heard about, growth mindset. It's related to positive mindset by understanding that each time you do something right, the next time gets easier to do something right. And when you don't get it right, the first time or the second time or the fourth time, don't say, I don't get it. Don't ever say, I don't get it. Say, I don't get it yet. That word, yet. I don't get it yet. Because you have to tell yourself, you will get it. You know, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard students say, I just don't get that. And I always say, yet. And they do it. So when you go to college, you will make mistakes, and you maybe even fail a test, even though you've been A+ student in high school. I speak from experience. You may find yourself thinking that you don't belong. But think about LeBron missing almost every other free throw, and Roger missing almost half of his shots, and then going on, both of them, to be world champions. Of course, to be academic champions, you must be prepared, so you have to do the work. Really do the work, put that in. But you already know that, because you've been through Operation Jumpstart. But do you know you also must be ready to ask for help? And I can speak just from Cal State Long Beach, but at the beach, your professors, your advisors, your counselors, the administrators around this table are all paid to help you. That's why we come to work. We also have free tutors and centers to help you with your writing or public speaking. In fact, any challenge you face, you can find assistance to succeed. The most common thing we find when we find students that are having academic difficulties is that they fail to ask for help. In fact, when a student gets advice from an advisor to go, for example, to the writing center to get help on an assignment, and the student goes and uses the service, there's almost 100% chance that the student passes that course. That's and we did the research on this, so this is true. I could be making it up, but I'm not making it up. So that 100%, almost 100% chance of passing the course, that's really better than Babe Ruth at bat, or LeBron at the free throw line, or Roger Federer, at the baseline. So it takes a village to be successful. You already know that. So remember, when you get to the beach, or to Emory, or to all the places you're going, and by the way, we did have graduates from Operation Jumpstart this year from the beach, and I noticed that about 12 scholars are coming to the beach, so yay. But many other universities have the same services that we have. So remember that we're there for your success. So if you run out of money for food, we have a pantry. If you need money to fix a car and you don't have the funds, we have emergency grants. We have payment plans, we have housing plans, we have mental and physical health centers. And we have over 300 student organizations of all kinds. So you can make friends fast with people who are interested in what you're interested in, and then you have time to make friends with people who are not interested in what you're interested in, but you like them, okay? So you've been, as I said, most universities have this, because I think we are the best, but that's, of course you know that. So you have been prepared to get into college, and that's wonderful. And the mantra is, get in, stay in. So prepare yourselves to succeed in college by working on your mindset as well as your academic preparation. Remember to be like Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. When asked how others see him, he smiled and he said, I'm a winner. You're all winners. Go Beach.